What's up, guys? Welcome to the lab, and today we're going to talk about doppelgangers and some really creepy stories that suggest their existence. And, yeah. So, for those who don't know, a doppelganger is an exact copy of yourself. It looks like you, sounds like you, and the common conception is that if you see your doppelganger, it's a bad omen. So, they've had talks of doppelgangers even in ancient Egyptian mythology, Norse mythology. So I don't know, that kind of gives it some more credibility, I guess, since they were talking about it all the way back then. Some people think it's like you're gonna die after you. That's what I've heard. I don't know about you, but I've always heard if you see your doppelganger, you're gonna die. I heard that in middle school. So
yeah, I heard that.
So I was always like, all right, I hope I just never see my doppelganger then, even though that'd be kind of cool, I guess. It'd be creepy, but it might be kind of cool. Just someone who's just exactly like you. And also, apparently some people have the power. This is kind of different, but not really. Apparently some people have the power to project themselves to a different location, but able to interact with people like normal, different, not astral projection, it's different from that, because astral projection you can't interact with people, but this you can. And apparently that's been in some CIA documents and they've used that, but I don't know how believable that is. But I'll get on with the first story.
Doppelganger is German for double walker.
Double walker, you said?
Yeah.
That's
a paranormal duplicate of a real person. They can manifest in a number of ways.
Yeah. So this one's really creepy. This is in the 16th century. So this guy named John Donne in the 16th century, he was visited by a doppelganger of his wife holding a baby. And his wife was pregnant at the time, so he thought this was actually her. And he was sad that he wasn't there when she actually gave birth. But the next day or something, he came back to find his actual wife had given birth to a stillborn baby. So that's
That's depressing.
Yeah, it is depressing. It's implying that the doppelganger had something to do with that, so that's kind of creepy.
Who else do you have? Do you have Johann Wolfgang von Goethe?
Yeah, I do. He's
Why don't you tell them that story?
Alright, so this is what I have written down. So this guy was in a relationship with some girl, and I think he went to visit her or something like that, and he saw a man on a rocky road or something wearing a gray suit with a gold trim on it and a top hat. And I don't know how he remembered this, but apparently 8 years later, he now lives in that place where he visited her, and he found himself wearing the exact same suit and hat on the same road and remembers that from 8 years ago. So that's pretty insane. That one I don't know about, because I just don't know how he would remember that.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Who else do you have examples of?
I have some girl named Emily Sage, which is a teacher, and D. Moss Passant. I don't know if I'm probably saying that wrong, but yeah, this one has 42 witnesses. So in 1846, this teacher named Emily Sage, literally just her doppelganger just supposedly walked in and copied her every move. So she's a teacher, right? So she's writing on the board with chalk or whatever, and the doppelganger starts doing that also, but without chalk, and just copying her and everything. And I didn't hear anything in this story about her reaction to the doppelganger. Like, they just didn't mention that at all. So I don't know if she was scared. I don't know if she saw it at all. Like, I have no idea. But anyway, the teacher was also watering flowers in the garden at this point. Like, this doppelganger was seen multiple times that year, and she was seen watering flowers in the garden outside. And the doppelganger walks in and sits in her chair while she's still able to be seen outside. And there was 42 students who saw this doppelganger. What were you saying?
Oh, so there was people that saw it and made an account of it?
Yeah. 42 students, supposedly.
Were there any stories from, this century that have witnesses?
I didn't see the particular site I was looking on. I didn't see any that were recent. I'm positive you can find some on Reddit though. Like, I know that for a fact.
Well, yeah. What did the students say?
Apparently they were just really scared. Like, they said the students were scared, but they didn't say they confronted the teacher about it. They didn't say if the teacher was scared. Like, none of that information was there. So I don't.
So it didn't say that the doppelganger spoke or anything like that. Is there any?
It didn't. No, it didn't.
Is there any instances of them speaking?
I don't. Not that I know of. Apparently, it was just it walked in while she was in the garden, sat in her chair, and apparently it just like disappeared before everyone's eyes or something like that. Some crazy shit. Like, absolutely ridiculous. Like,
did anything bad happen to that teacher?
I don't think so. I think she was I don't think so, because they said the doppelganger was seen multiple times that year, so I'm assuming that the teacher was still alive for an entire year, so
then it means it's not always a bad thing.
Yeah, I guess a doppelganger could be like just, it could be a result of dimension crossing. Like, that's something that some people have said. If you believe in, like, multiple dimensions and stuff like that. Some people think it could be a wraith. Which is just, that thing I was telling you about. Where someone projects themselves to a different location. Some people said it could be that. That one in particular, I think, is not very credible. But this one's weird, kind of weird too, because it has something about you'll see. This guy named where is it? Demos Passant. I'm definitely saying that wrong, but he wrote a book called Louis, and his doppelganger supposedly walked in and started dictating what he should write in the book. And I don't know what the book is about, actually, but you can look it up. Like, you can actually read this book. I looked it up myself. And supposedly this guy wrote a lot of really good books too. So it's kind of hard to say he's just insane, I guess. But yeah, apparently he saw his doppelganger and like wrote a book with it. Or him. And I'm kind of curious what that book is about now.
What is the book called?
It's called Lou. L-U-I.
What is the author's name?
D. Moss, like D-E. Moss Passant. No, Maw Passant. Those are the stories I have written down. I want to see if there's like one from recent this age though.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
I'm about to look that up on Reddit, but What do you think about doppelgangers? Like, do you think it's if it is real, it could be a result of like dimensions crossing or like
Well, I think it depends on who it is and what it is, and there's a lot of variations. Because the fact is, there's billions of people in the world. So, I would say everybody has probably one person that has like a striking resemblance to them, that they're almost identical to the point where you look at them
yeah.
and look at them, and you probably have slight details off, but you had the same facial structure and all that. I'm sure that there's someone
Yeah.
out there that's walking around with your exact facial structure. Maybe same skin tone, maybe not. Who knows? Because they could be in whatever country, wherever. So
If it just exactly like you though, like that's really I don't know, the chances of that are probably very slim.
well, you would have a 1 in a couple billion chance. So actually, it's a pretty good chance because there's 8 billion people in the world or something like that. Maybe 3 billion.
That's true.
So 1 in 3 billion, is that really an unrealistic thing to say?
Yeah, I guess not really. Like there could definitely be someone out there who looks exactly like you, especially if you're a pretty average look. I don't know what an average looking person is, but just you don't have any features that are like very distinct to you, I guess.
Yeah, so I'm sure there's more than one doppelganger in that way. And a doppelganger kind of in a paranormal, spiritual sense. That could be just about anything.
Yeah. Yeah, it could literally be anything. What would you think
some
if you
people
saw your
say it's
like? Would you be scared?
Well, I guess it depends on in what context. If I'm just sitting in my house by myself, then yeah, I'd be
yeah.
I'd be incredibly scared. If I look in the mirror and I see myself behind me and turn around and I'm not there, I'd be pretty disturbed. If I turn around and I am there, I'd be pretty disturbed. And I feel like that's a horror movie waiting to happen. You see yourself behind yourself, and then you attack yourself.
Yeah.
Fight yourself. And if you've ever read the creepypasta No End House, that is one of the rooms. He's the doppelganger technically in it. So they kind of play on that.
I'd be pretty scared no matter the context, because that would just be kind of creepy. Like if they look exactly like me, if I see some differences, I wouldn't be as creeped out. But if they were like look just like me, I'd probably be like, what the fuck, like.
Yeah, I mean, if you're out in public, I feel like there's a safety net right there, and it's not that bad.
That's true. It's not like you're gonna, unless it's that bad omen thing is true, it's not like you're gonna, they can kill you or something, like in public, so.
Yeah, so, whereas if you're just sitting in your house, your apartment, your residence, your abode, and you look in a mirror, and then all of a sudden yourself is behind you, or yourself just walks into a room and you're laying down, it's probably going to be a traumatic experience. Even if it's just like walks in and walks out, like you'd still be like, what just happened?
Yeah. Like, can you imagine, like, someone yourself just walking in on you? Like, oh my god.
Well, and also, it depends, because if it's a sinister thing, then obviously it's horrible. But if it's actually you from another dimension, like, that wouldn't be bad at all. Because that's you, and you're cognitive, and, like, but it doesn't seem like, Man, I wanna figure out if anyone's had a conversation with the doppelganger.
Yeah. I wanna see that too, actually. If there is someone, I would love to like hear what they have to say.
Yeah, that would be a great thing. Man, so we're kind of stagnating here, but I am looking up where it says
Yeah,
355
that's what I was
complete strangers who met their doppelganger and had a lot of questions.
Oh man.
So, 1. My doppelganger was seated next to me on the plane. Then we accidentally checked into the same hotel and went for a beer. Now, this is, they do look slightly different.
Oh, they have pictures?
Yeah. So, one guy is shorter, and their nose is slightly different, and their haircut is different, but they are strikingly close to each other. Number 2, I found my literal doppelganger just now, WTF, and it's 2 girls that, yeah, I'd say I'd say they look just like each other. Their eyebrows are a little bit different. So this is more or less like the first case of what we were talking about, where it's just somebody that has such a striking, similar appearance to you. Yeah.
Are you on HuffPost? Is that the website?
Boardpanda.com.
Okay, so I'm on a different one. Yeah, the people on here look... yeah, dude, these people look, like, identical. Some of them look a little different, though.
I screenshot some of these. I'm going to send them to you, but a lot of people that just look eerily similar to each other. Now, some of the people, they do have, like, slight differences.
Yeah, very slight differences.
But if you've seen them, you would be like, well, they're related.
Yeah, easily.
But yeah, so all these people just have slight differences.
What do you say to someone like that? Do you just walk up to them and you're just like, you look just like me?
Well, I think both of the... Yeah, if you see someone that looks just like you, you're probably going to look and be like, wow, you look just like... Both of you are probably going to think it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I saw one case a very long time ago, but there was a video on YouTube of this guy supposedly met, I guess, his doppelganger. And he had the same exact tattoo also, which is kind of crazy.
So, when it's like this situation, I'd be really excited to meet my doppelganger if it's in this situation where it's just somebody that literally looks exactly like me. I would love to meet my doppelganger.
Yeah.
Because I think it'd be funny if I found somebody that literally looked exactly like me, and I started hanging out with them, because I think that'd be hella meta, you know.
People be like, "What the fuck?" Like,
and I'd be like, "This is my brother from a different dimension."
Yeah. The people who know you would be like, "What in the fuck?" But the people who don't know you just be like, "Oh, that's obviously just like your brother or your twin brother."
Yeah, so if you're born an identical twin, you are born with a doppelganger.
Yeah, pretty much.
Think about that.
Well, and if those twins have doppelgangers, then that means there's 4 people that look like you.
Or 3.
Well, 3, yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good experiment to send a picture and say, who's my doppelganger? And the only problem is, I think a lot of memes would arise, and it'd be kind of like a roast me session. I think is what people would turn
Yeah,
into if you
that
if you
is
put
part
it
of
in
what it is too.
if you put it in Reddit. That's what would happen.
Yeah, probably. Dude, yeah, these people look pretty much exactly alike.
Yeah, I think I don't think it's unrealistic for people just to look so much alike that it's just uncanny. Pretty
Yeah,
clearly
I guess.
a realistic thing, because I mean I've seen plenty of pictures just now where people look exactly alike.
Yeah, it kind of makes it not nearly as creepy once you see pictures of other people's doppelgangers.
Yeah, and I mean it might be kind of different than what people are thinking when they say doppelganger.
The doppelgangers that are supposedly a bad omen, maybe they're thinking the ones that are like wear your exact clothing also. Like they wear your exact clothing, listen to the same music you do, like they are literally you. Maybe those are the ones that are like a bad omen.
Yeah, makes sense. Have you ever seen somebody that looks extremely like someone that you know?
Probably. I saw someone. Do you remember Chandler?
Mm-hmm.
I saw someone who literally looked exactly like him before. Like exactly. Like I honestly thought it was him, but I didn't. I don't know. They didn't like say anything to me. I was just kind of looking at him, and I was like, "That's not him." So,
When was this?
that was in high school. Like on the trolley.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah, it was kind of.
So you have seen
It's
a
weird when that.
doppelganger.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. It gives you a weird feeling, like, cause you're just like, is that them? Like,
I feel like I've had it happen, but I could not tell you. I feel like I've seen somebody that looks exactly like, someone I know, but
you probably have.
Yeah, I just can't put my finger on it.
And the only thing that could make it creepy, like, besides that, is like if they actually copied your every move, like they did for that teacher in that story. Now that would be weird.
I wonder how you post to this. Maybe we should post our pictures on this and see if someone finds a doppelganger of us. What do you think?
No, I don't feel like I don't want to run the risk of getting roasted. Plus, I just don't like my face. So, well, guys, hope you enjoyed. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.